It is an absolutely dreadful day today, and that's why I'll be turning these three main ingredients into the best nut cake ever. It is so good. It doesn't even have flour in it. Let's get started. So here it goes. The recipe calls for 10 eggs. If you have really large eggs, you take 9. I'll take 9 today. 1 pound of pecans. If you have the pecan crumbles, that's fine too, because I need to start grinding these up anyway, which I'll use the food processor for. 1.5 cups of sugar. Notice I said it's gluten-free. I didn't say it's low calorie, but the taste makes up for it. Some vanilla, a dash of salt, and then you also need one of these pans where the bottoms come out. I line it with parchment paper. I don't even know what they're called in English. What are they called? Anyway, that's all we need. And now I'll separate the eggs. They need to be done in a certain way, and I'll grind up the pecans. Okay, the pecans are chopped up, and I like them to where they still have some crumble, not too thick or it's gonna be hard for the cake, but you know, some texture. So when you bite in, you have some nut texture. And also I use pecans because that's what we have. But in Germany, I grew up with this cake. This recipe's been in the family forever. And of course there we use hazelnuts or walnuts. You can use any nut you like. I'm not sure about how well almonds work, maybe a little overpowering. But you can also use a combination of nuts, so that should be fine. Okay, I separated 8 of the 10 eggs, and then we keep 2 whole eggs aside together with the yolks. And I'll just add a little bit of salt, and then we whip this up until it's stiff and the peaks are forming on top. Okay, so this was like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and when it's like this, when it's starting to foam up, I'll add a little bit of sugar to this one. This is the organic sugar. It's all brown, but it'll taste the same. Okay, this is good enough. See, it holds its shape nicely. Now I put this aside and we'll deal with the eggs and the rest of the ingredients. So these are the 8 egg yolks and the 2 whole eggs, or 1. And I'll squeeze in a little bit of lemon. And now we start whipping this up until it's nice and creamy and foamy with some sugar. Just add a little bit at a time. And then also before it's done, I'm gonna add the vanilla. Let's get nice and foamy. Now I add the vanilla and then beat it for another while. Can't be foamy enough. Give it another little sip. And then we're ready to assemble this and stick it in the oven. So we have the foamy egg batter, and I'm incorporating these pecan shreds first, and then it's time to add the egg whites. Try to do this with as gently as possible and with as little strokes as possible. I'll just scoop it up from the bottom and then incorporate it, which is difficult with one hand. I'll show you when it's done. So it's still very fluffy even after mixing it, and now it's really just a matter of transporting this into the pan and then to stick it in the oven. Now this will rise, and I have had spills before. That's why I put it on some aluminum foil. That's not ideal because it shields some heat from underneath, but it's all I can do. And I will leave it there for at least 60 minutes and we'll just check in regularly. Oy vey, approaching the danger zone. This is one happy batter. Cake is out, took over an hour, but I kept checking until the wood pick came out clean with nothing gunk to it. Now I let this rest for just a few minutes, maybe 5, 7, 10, and then remove the form, take the top off, and we'll see what it looks like. So here it is. Now you may say this is quite ugly and rugged, and I can't argue with that, and that's why we transform it. This is like royal icing, but I don't have egg whites in there. It's just powdered sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, and the rest is water. And let me spread this out. Almost. See, I always let the icing drip down on the sides and then add some centerpiece. And when I make this for Easter, I put on the little chocolate eggs around, and ready is the cake. Now to cut it open and see what it looks like. There we have it. Look how nice that looks. All this goodness, so many nuts. It's fluffy and moist. I'm gonna dip in. This is so good. Now, you can make this with a buttercream filling on the inside, but then I would recommend grinding the nuts smaller so it's more like flour. Otherwise, it won't hold together, because with the thicker things, that's the nice part. It's kind of crumbly but super moist. This is good. Happy holidays, everyone.